Here's our first look at the Fnaf 10th anniversary pops. Now these look great, definitely an improvement on the original pops, and we can see how far we've come. We finally have some unique poses with the Funko Pops, and these are available to pre-order, the link in the description, and they are £13 each, so they will come to about £52 for all 4 of them. This time round it seems as though Funko is adapting their style to the character rather than the character to their style. If you don't know what I mean, let me show you by comparing the OGs and the new ones. So let's obviously start off with Freddy. Now the original Freddy Pop has that sort of stiff classic early Funko pose with the top teeth. It's very simplistic in its design. However, the new pop has a totally new mold. The head is slightly more curved and smaller. The eyebrows are furrowed and his eyelids cover half his eyes to give him more of that imitating look that we see in the film. I also want to say the brown is slightly different, but we'll have to have a look when I actually have the pop in person just to compare them a little bit. Then we've got the stance. Still got that classic mic like the OG Freddy. We've also got a different hand position, and the legs and feet are totally different too. The newer pop has more character to it and has more life, whereas the OG pop sort of lacked that. Next we have Bonnie, and right off the bat we can see the most obvious change. The OG Bonnie is a lot more purple and darker, whereas the new Bonnie is a lot more blue and lighter. Like Freddy, the new Bonnie is a new mold, revamped. OG Bonnie has more of a blocky head, his snout is more blocky, his ears are both bent at the top, and he has whisker spots, which obviously the Bonnie this pop is based off actually doesn't have those whisker spots in the game. Now when we look at the newer Bonnie, he has more of a curved head shape and his ears have a little bit more character to them. One's bent and the other is pointing to space. They also removed the top teeth, which is good, and they made the teeth more curved rather than a square blocky look, which is more accurate to how Bonnie actually looks in the game and the film. And then we have the snout, which is even more curved than the original one, and it loses the whisker spots. Moving on to the body, the OG Bonnie has that classic Funko constipated ready to fight stance. There's not much else to say, it's just very bland. However, the newer Bonnie has his guitar, which should have been there from the start. It's a no-brainer. We can also see on the new Bonnie the bow tie looks to be slightly bigger. Up next is Chica, who has one big change and the rest are quite small. Now the OG Chica's head is more of that square shape classic Funko look once again, with some fab looking winged eyeliner, and she looks quite cheery for a killer animatronic compared to her newer counterpart, whose head is a lot more curved with more of an angry look. The loss of her makeup skills, which is a lot better unfortunately than the original Funko Pop. Don't get me wrong, I have the original Funko Pop, I still love it. The new one is definitely an improvement. Let's move on to the actual body. Now you've got the stance. OG's Chica's stance looks a lot like she's about to smack it in the face. It's that classic bland Funko look, but a newer look has one new addition, a cupcake, which just like Bonnie's guitar should have been on the OG Pop. And we can also see on her hands she has little pads. It is crazy by slightly changing the pose of these pops, Funko was able to add these slight little details that the OG Funko Pops were missing. And finally we have Foxy, and he has had one of the biggest changes, especially to his head. The OG Foxy's head has a little tufts, plain, but they're there, and just basically a classic Funko looking head, whereas the new Foxy has his massive tufts. They've added the texture and everything. His snout looks close to the original colour, and that eye, have you seen the eye? Bright yellow, looks amazing. It also looks like you can put your finger in his mouth. I know that's a weird thing to say, but in the original Pop I don't think you could. It was like this black thing blocking you from being able to put your finger in his mouth. Don't know why you would want to put your finger in Foxy's mouth, but now you can. Basically, you can tell this Foxy Pop is based on the film's version. He looks so much like it. Then you've got the body. There's a slight change. It's not the classic Funko constipation stance, and the colour on the newer Foxy doesn't look as washed out. He's very brightly coloured. He definitely stands out. But yeah, those are the new revamped Funko Pops of the Fnaf Fab 4. And I've got to admit, Funko has not missed when it comes to 10th anniversary merch. They've done so well. If you told me last year they were losing their license, I would have said there is a god, because the FNAF merch they were releasing was just so questionable and just low effort. However, what they've produced for the 10th anniversary, it's a shame they're losing it. If only they released this level of quality merch for the past few years. Now, there is still a Golden Freddy Funko Pop, statue, the Puppet Pop, and Golden Freddy Plus to show off in terms of anniversary merch, but I live in the UK, so getting your hands on the Golden Freddy Plush and the Puppet Pop is a little disappointingly difficult at the very moment. But once I get them, there will be a future video. I might just show off the Golden Freddy statue and Pop, as I do have them currently, if I don't manage to get the other two, but I do kind of want to show them off together, but I'll see what happens. But yeah, thanks for watching and see you on the flip side.